Good afternoon, everyone. Lipgloss and Aftershave, we are back. It's 3 o'clock. It's Sunday, March 29th, and we are so excited for our 3 o'clock session. So Barry, why don't you introduce who we have with us today?
Guys, so excited to be able to introduce Jessica from, it's Jessica, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why, in that split second I was like, no, it's Jennifer. No, it's Jessica. So I had to clarify.
Gary, I was almost a Jennifer. I am a
Okay.
child, so fair enough.
Jessica from HydroPeptide. So you guys, I have loved this brand since I was probably about 7 or 8 years ago. I was doing, I was recording sessions at the Las Vegas IECSC, and I interviewed someone from HydroPeptide then for a company called Booker. And I got one of their serums and fell in love. And we've been working with them for a while now, but we just this year kicked into a full annual campaign with them, and it's been amazing. The things that we've learned, the new vitamin C facial is spectacular. If you haven't tried it, you have to get it. And I had it with someone right in LA right before I went to the Grammys. So thank you so much for that, Spa Girl LA. But Jennifer is going to, Jessica is going to, see, I'm all confused now. Jessica is going to do a PowerPoint with us. If you guys want to do a screen share or a screenshot for your Instagram story, it's their HydroPeptide on Instagram. We're Lipgloss Aftershave. Use hashtag LAFest and we'll share for everyone. And for this session, if you want to add music to your Instagram story, I'm thinking the song that we're going to pick is I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor, because we will survive this, okay? So add that music to your Instagram story and you'll get a bigger shout out because I'll do a live with you. So take it away.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen right now and everybody wish me luck. Oh, wait a minute. Oops, hang on. I know how to do this. Give me a second here. And from the beginning. Okay. Can you guys see my my blue screen? How to sell without selling out? Heck yeah. All right, here we go. So this presentation I'm going to do today is really not so brand specific towards HydroPeptide. It's really about selling in general as an esthetician. A little background about me. I am a licensed esthetician and I have been since 1998. I also, for many, many years, owned a pretty big day spa and had a substantial staff. So I know all about the struggles of selling. And so this presentation is really made with love by HydroPeptide for everyone who has struggled with selling. I think estheticians in general can sometimes find selling to be difficult. And I think it feels for us sometimes innately pushy or disingenuous. And I've heard a lot of estheticians say that they're skin therapists, they're not salespeople, the products are too expensive, the client already spent $100, $200 on the service, they're not going to pay an additional $100, $200 for product. And really with this presentation, my goal is to give you some facts that hopefully will change how you think about selling and really realize that selling is truly an extension of the service that you're providing your clients. So the first thing we should talk about is, do clients really want your advice? So out of 100 people that went in for a first-time treatment, how many do you think wanted advice on their skin? It's 80%. And how many people do you think at that first-time treatment got the advice that they were looking for? 3%. That's a huge discrepancy. And what percentage of spa clients say that they've never had any retail recommended to them? 67%. So most people are desperate to get correct advice on their skin. So something to keep in mind when you are providing services and just sort of your attitude towards sales. Clients generally don't wake up in the mirror or wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and think, gosh, my skin looks fantastic. I think I'll call my esthetician. I think I'll book a facial. Generally, people are coming to see you because they've got skin concerns, they need help, they need expert help, and you're that expert. So I want to share 5 truths about your clients. The first thing you have to remember is clients are time deprived. Now, not so much maybe during this quarantine when we are twiddling our thumbs, some of us, but in general, your clients are very time deprived. They're also very focused on not looking their age. That's why they're coming to see you. That's why they're spending money on these skincare products. They also want immediate results from the services and the products that they're receiving. They want to see a major difference in their appearance. And last but most importantly, they want your expert advice. So I really want you to marinate on that. Clients want your expert advice. It's why they're coming to see you. So you're the expert. They're paying to see you. They want your advice. If you take nothing else away from this, I want to just bang this in, and that is the clients are there because they want your professional advice. Okay, so 8 out of 10 clients will purchase something after their visit to the spa. Within 24 hours of visiting a spa, 8 out of 10 clients will purchase something. So if they're not purchasing from you, they're going to a big box store, they're going to a department store, they're going to a drugstore. But at the end of the day, what they really want to recreate is that experience and those results that you gave them. Your clients want to maintain those results with professional products at home. So I want you to think about offering them some of what you're using in the treatment room for at-home results. I want to tell you a really cool story that I had told to me when I was a baby esthetician. I actually went to cosmetology school first, and I had the pleasure of hearing David Wagner speak when I was, like I said, a baby in this industry. And he told this story about a guy that worked in his salon who never recommended products. And one day this guy comes into work, and all that he has on his station is a hairbrush and some shears. And he turns to David and he says, well, how do you expect me to do my client's hair? And he said, well, how do you expect your clients to do their hair? If you're not recommending these products for them to use at home, how are they supposed to recreate this? And that kind of has stuck with me ever since. And that is how important home care really is, and how important it is for us to recommend the appropriate home care to our clients. All right, so let's talk about a regular client. And by a regular client, I mean a client that's coming to see you on a regular basis, basically our dream clients. So a regular client is going to come see you, if we're lucky, once a month. So they're going to see you 12 times a year. They're getting 12 treatments with you per year. So at 12 treatments a year, we're not going to see a major change in their skin. But if you recommend home care, they are using the products that you've chosen for them up to twice a day for 365 days, which means they're getting 730 professional treatments a year. So to me, that means that they're going to start seeing some real results. And for you as a professional in the treatment room, it's allowing you not to start from ground zero each time you see them. In other words, if they come to see you and 30 days later they've done absolutely nothing to maintain what you've done with them in the treatment room, you know, we're really starting from the same position that we saw them a month ago. So when you're sending them home with home care, you're really helping them to move the needle on their results. And as you can imagine, the more results clients are seeing, the more regularly they're going to come see you, and also they're going to see you as the expert who is delivering these results for them. So it's a win-win-win all the way around. All right, so this slide is was created specifically for my estos who are employees, but for my esto owners, you can extrapolate how much money you can make when you start selling retail. So in this particular scenario, I want to ask you, would you like an extra $6,000 in your pocket? And what I'm doing here is basing these retail sales off of a standard 10% commission on retail sales. And so let's say that you're not working quite full time, you're working about 35 hours a week, which I think for estheticians, we would argue that 35 hours a week is more than full time sometimes. And I suspect after this quarantine, we're going to be working a lot more than 35 hours a week just to catch up with all of our clients. But let's say that you're working about 35 hours a week. And we'll say, you know, business is steady, but it's not booming. So you're booked about 60% of the time. So you're doing about 21 facials a week. And let's say out of those 21 clients, not every client's going to buy retail from you. Let's say that half of those clients, let's say 10 of those clients are going to buy retail for you. So what does every client need? Every client needs and you can, fill in the blanks for yourself, but in this case, I'm going to say a cleanser and a sunscreen. So for half of your clients, 10 clients, you're going to sell them a cleanser and a sunscreen. And then let's say throughout the week, you managed to sell 3 other products. And in this case, I'm going to use 2 eye authorities, which is an eye serum that we have at HydroPeptide, and then 1 power serum. And so you're going to sell, in addition to 10 cleansers and sunscreens, you're going to also sell 2 eye authorities and 1 power serum. So the commission that you're going to make on 10 clients, and it's $4.80 per product, you're going to make $96 that week. And then you're going to make an additional $30 in commission on the 2 eye products and the 1 serum that you sold. And if you do that for 50 weeks, take 2 weeks off for vacation, you've just put $6,300 in your pocket of additional earnings. And so basically, I like to say you've given yourself a raise faster than any employer will, and you can scale that up. You can start thinking about if you could sell, this, that, and the other thing, how quickly that $6,300 could become $10,000 and above. So you really do control a lot of what you're bringing in. So why is selling so important? Why do we put such an emphasis on selling products? Well, let's talk about that. Selling really is an extension of the service that you're providing to your clients. And selling is going to benefit 3 entities. First, it's going to benefit your client. It's going to benefit you. And then in companionship with that is going to benefit your business or your spa. So let's talk about how it's going to benefit your clients, how sharing your treatments and your retail offerings are going to benefit your clients. First, it's going to help your clients get or maintain the results they want. It's going to extend their spa experience. It's going to help them feel very confident and comfortable with your expertise, and we'll talk a little bit about more about that in just a bit. And it's also going to help them feel validated and cared for, because, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit also, the way that you're going to go about finding what retail and what treatments you're going to offer is going to make them feel heard and validated. So how is this going to benefit you? Well, it's going to allow your clients to see you as an authority. It's going to increase client loyalty, trust, and return visits to you. It's also going to fuel positive reviews and referrals, and it's going to increase your earning potential. And when you do all of that, it in turn is going to benefit your business or your spa. Okay, so how many of you would like to have an 80% customer retention? I know I would. So let's talk about how we can get there with retail. So if a client receives a service, just a service, there's a 35% likelihood that they're going to come back to see you. If your client has a service and purchases 1 item of retail from you, there's a 60% chance that they'll come back. Now, if a client has a service with you and purchases 2 retail products, there's an 80% chance that they're going to come back to see you. So it's all there in the numbers. A returning client is a continuing revenue stream through services and product repurchases, and they build your reputation by recommending you to friends. If they're coming back to you, you can bet they're telling their friends about you, and they're raving about the results that they're getting, and their clients are, or excuse me, their friends are seeing the results that they're getting. So it really does behoove you to consider selling retail actively to your clients, if for nothing else than to build your retention rate. Okay, so what's holding you back from selling? And I think this is where our pain point is. We understand logically that selling is a great thing, but what psychologically is holding you back? So I think the first thing, or the thing I hear the most, is definitely fear of rejection. And I think that's natural and that's very human. But I want to tell you something. It is okay to hear the word no. You're giving your clients an option in the first place. Some of them are going to say yes, some of them are going to say no, and that's fine. That's acceptable, and that should be expected. At the end of the day, you are doing your job by recommending products to your clients. Whether or not they are choosing to purchase them is neither here nor there. It really is about you doing your job as a professional and making sure that your clients have all the information that they need before they leave your business. So You just have to kind of get used to the idea that hearing no is a-okay. It's going to happen a percentage of the time. And just because you hear no on this visit doesn't mean you're going to hear no on the next visit. So get comfortable with no. It is okay. And honestly, it is no reflection on you as a person. So, you know, get that out of your head. All right. So a lot of times we're worried that it's going to take away from the experience. If someone's coming to relax with you, if they're coming to get away from the stress of life, you feel like, gosh, if I start pushing products on them, it's going to take away from this very relaxing experience. And I want to go back to what I said earlier, and that is people are coming to you for the most part because they have a driving need. Something's bothering them about their skin, and that's why they're coming to see you. And I always tell people, now if they're coming because they got a gift card or a gift certificate, you know, maybe they're not so much interested. They're just using that gift card. But for the majority of the people that you're going to see in your treatment room, they're there for a reason. And relaxation is a beautiful benefit of coming to see you, but it's probably not the driving reason why they're coming to see you. So just remember that. And again, they're coming because they want to hear what you have to say about what's going to improve their current skin condition. So I want to again reiterate that you're a professional and you're the expert on skincare. And if it's not you giving them the advice, then who is? Is it somebody who works at a big box store? Is it somebody who, you know, went through a cursory glance at the product manual at the store that they work at? I mean, these people are not as invested in skincare and products and what things do what things to the skin as you are. So the experience that your client is getting is a professional experience, and part of that is your knowledge. So I'm going to put that out there for you. So again, I think I just spoke about this. You define yourself as an esthetician, not a salesperson. An esthetician is a professional skincare therapist who knows about skincare and what the products are going to do on the skin. And so once you've discovered what the issues are with your client, it's your job as a professional to offer them the solutions that they need at home for those 730 treatments that they're going to have the rest of the year when they're not seeing you. So you're not a salesperson, but you are the educated skin therapist who's going to be offering them your opinions. Okay. So something else that holds us back is lack of product knowledge. And let me tell you, that is within your realm of responsibility to learn about your products. And there's lots of different ways that you can get that information. A lot of companies have online education. We have an online education portal. I highly encourage you to work with your account executives. Any skincare company that you should be having a relationship should have an account executive or a person like that who can support you in gaining knowledge and understanding the products, and generally just be a touch point for you when you have questions. And then also, ask your peers. We have a professional Facebook page on Facebook where people can come on and ask questions. And I know a lot of other skincare lines do the same. So, don't be hesitant to reach out to your peers as well to get answers if you have questions about product knowledge and just what you're seeing in the treatment room. And this one is a really important one, and that is prejudging the client's ability to purchase based on their appearance or your interactions with them. I cannot stress this enough. Do not prejudge a client's ability to purchase. Do not, as I like to say, shop out of your own pocketbook. So you could think to yourself, gosh, this client doesn't look like they have money or something similar to that. But this is really unfair to your guest for a couple of reasons. Basically, you really shouldn't treat people differently because of how they look. And also, you don't have any idea what kind of money they have. So you should think, your mantra should be, treat everyone like they're a millionaire. And not only is this a good thing for you to do as a human being, but also it keeps you from accidentally disqualifying a real millionaire. Okay, so this kind of ties into what I was saying earlier, and that is prejudging your clients based on your budget or interest. Just because you can't afford something doesn't mean your client can't. Just because your interest is not on that particular product doesn't mean that that's not where your client's interest is. So please, please, please refrain from making judgments based on your budget or your pocketbook or what interests you. And so I ask you to also ask yourself kind of what else could be holding you back from making sales or making recommendations about products. And that's something personally that you need to think about. What emotions come up when you think about having to sell, or what kinds of things do you automatically want to respond with when someone tells you that you should be selling products to your clients? Okay, so at the basis of sales is all about, and at its most elemental, a transfer of enthusiasm. And so if you are enthusiastic about products, I guarantee you your sales are going to go up. If you talk about them, if you understand them, and if you love them. And this is true for both products or for services. You know, I know when I was in the treatment room 100%, and I would go take a class and get super excited about a new technique or a new service that I was bringing in, my clients would get excited because I transferred my enthusiasm about what I was doing to my clients. And so I really encourage you to put some enthusiasm around your products. So the easiest way to do that is, first you got to learn about your products, right? And I want you to do some really easy things. I want you to pay attention to what your products can do. So what does this particular product do for my clients? Is it depuffing? Is it reducing fine lines and wrinkles? Is it stimulating collagen? Is it, boosting elastin? Learn about what they do. Then I want you to think about how this is going to change how your client looks. And lastly, I want you to think about how your clients are going to feel when their skin improves. So I'm also going to encourage you to simplify the message. So I know, and it's one of the reasons why I'm in this industry, we are ingredient nerds at heart. We love to learn the science. We love to know why something is doing what it's doing, what this particular ingredient is, and how it affects, different things in the skin, and, what the delivery system is, and all these things. And honestly, product technology is our personal nerd out, but it's not necessarily what is interesting to our clients. Clients really want to know what the products are doing, what are they buying it to do? That's what they care about. They're not so much interested in the science of why it works. They just want to know what it's going to do for them. The science of why something works, that's what lights our fires, but not so much with your clients. So be mindful of that when you're delivering the message about the products. For you, the whole, process of how this ingredient does this, and triggers this, and ATP that, and everything else is not as important to the client who is concerned about, let's say, hyperpigmentation. They want to know that this is going to break up the hyperpigmentation and prevent future hyperpigmentation from forming. So really be mindful and simplify your message. And these are generalizations. Obviously, I'm sure you all have had clients that are total product nerds too, and you guys can nerd out together, and I highly recommend that. But for the most part, let's just keep it simple. Focus on the benefits. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. What's this going to do for my client? How's my client going to feel? What's the experience that they're going to have, the benefits? And so basically get your mind off the price and get your mind onto the high points of what this product is going to produce for your clients. All right. And because I hear a lot of times, I've heard it in the past and I definitely hear it now, price. People aren't going to buy that, it's too expensive. So I want to show you something that information I collected. This was from Data Monitor Consumer. And these are what's most important to your clients in order of importance. The first thing that's important to them are personalized benefits. So again, it behooves you to learn the key benefits of what the product is going to do for them. Your clients are also really interested in superior quality. They want bang for their buck. They want to know what they're buying is worth it. They want a product that's going to last longer. They are interested in promotions. So promotions don't always have to be a discount on a product. It can be gifts with purchase. It can be promotions in conjunction with the service that you're providing. There's lots of ways for you to promote product without necessarily discounting product. And guess what the number 5 most important thing to clients is? Price. So as you can see, there is a lot above price that people are considering when they're making a purchase. So this was an article that I read many years ago, and it's called The Irrelevant Price Tag, and this is by Douglas Preston, and it was published in Dermoscope. It's a really good article, and I'm pulling some of these key points from that, that article. And one of the examples that Douglas gives, and I'm going to sort of paraphrase it here, but it really sets up what we're going to talk about when it comes to talking about price. So I want you to think about a luxury car like a Mercedes or a Tesla. In general, we don't question whether that car is worth the high price tag because we believe that we're buying the best in luxury, technology, and experience. And although we personally may not be able to afford one, we don't question the price tag. People buy expensive cars for many reasons, not the least of which is how they feel about the car and how the car makes them feel about themselves. And skincare is very much the same. And actually buying anything is very much the same. And if you do any reading on sales, you'll hear this over and over and over again. Sales choices are based on emotion and they are justified with logic. So think about that. They're based on emotion and justified with logic. So it is very much about how something makes you feel or how you feel about something. So I want to reiterate in these key points. And some of these we've already gone over, but I think they're worth reiterating. Your client is demonstrating that they place a high value on personal care just by booking an appointment. People who don't care about skincare are not spending $100 plus to come see an esthetician. If you are spending that kind of money, you care about how you look. You don't know how a client's going to respond to a price, so don't assume it's going to be negative. Don't shop out of your own pocketbook. When prices are set, manufacturers know it can be sold at that price. So even though you may not think it can, trust me, manufacturers know that it can be sold at that price. If we didn't think it could be sold at that price, we wouldn't put it at that price. Many department store products are priced higher. There are a lot of prestige lines that maybe you can only get at Nordstrom's and things like that, department stores like that, that have crazy price tags, but I guarantee you a lot of us would not want that product in our treatment room. So just know that the places that your clients are shopping have products that are not as efficacious, but are more expensive. So that's the shopping arena that your clients are in. And a certain percent are going to buy products. It's just a guarantee. A certain percent of all your clients are going to buy products, even if the product is expensive. If a product can help a client, then it's your responsibility to give them the choice. It's your job to make them aware of your options. And I think I've hit this nail on the head several times during this presentation, but I'll do it one more time, and that is your job as a professional is to let your clients know what their options are and why you think it's a good option for them. Then it's up to them to make their decision about whether or not they want it. And this, I think, is also something to keep in mind. Skincare may be their focus. They may want skincare more than anything else. They may want it more than they want clothes, a fancy car, a vacation. I think particularly with Instagram, and we see these influencers and other people who are promoting, skincare and the importance of it. So we don't know if this is somebody's particular focus and this is where they want to spend their money, and they're willing to eat ramen noodles in order to pay for it. That's their choice. And so just keep that in mind when you are talking to someone. Maybe you've got a younger client where you think, oh my gosh, this stuff is too expensive. Well, this may be what lights their fire. And so, don't judge and don't take that away from them. All right. So we've talked about prices and all the other objections that you might be carrying around. So let's talk about how we actually can go about making selling less painful for us as estheticians. The first thing I'm going to tell you is that, go back here. The easiest way to make product recommendations is figuring out what they need. And that takes place by asking some questions. So I like to tell people, I used to tell my employees, you're not just an esthetician, you're a detective. Or you're not just a nail tech, you're a detective. And really, you should be getting in the mindset when a client comes in, whether it's a regular client or a new client, to find out where they're at. You know, ask them some key questions. What brings you in here today? You know, maybe they're having a flare-up or they're going through a particularly stressful time in their life. And, you know, maybe they're turning 30 and they're starting to see changes in their skin, or maybe they're turning 50 and they're seeing some big changes in their skin. So, you know, check in with your clients each and every time. What's bringing you in here today? Or how are things going with your skin today? Another thing that I love to ask people, particularly new clients, is if you could change something about your skin, what would it be? And then I also want to know what they're doing about their current skincare regimen. So these questions are going to give me some clues, but they're also going to tell me what they're doing right now, what they're willing to do, and what was their driver to come in. In other words, what made them decide that today was the day that they needed to see an esthetician. So you can already sort of start to figure out what their key concerns are and what you're going to want to focus on and address during your treatment. Emotion. Like we said earlier, sales are driven by emotion and justified by logic. So let's uncover the emotional reason for being there, and we can really speak to that. So some questions that you can ask is, what would you like to improve or see not get worse? How does what you see in the mirror make you feel? And that's a really powerful question. It makes me feel old. It makes me feel unattractive. It makes me feel wrinkly, whatever. And then repeat what they've said and ask them, is that correct? So make sure that you are listening, actively listening to what they're saying, and then make sure that you are repeating what they've said so that they can feel heard, and also to clarify that you indeed are on the right track with what they've told you. And then you want to say, you know, now if we could address these, would that make you feel better? Well, you're offering them a solution, yay, yay. And great, then that's what we're going to do in our treatments and home care. So you're setting it up now that you're going to be giving them some home care advice as well. And you're going to address their concerns in your treatment. So you can see how this is increasing your integrity with your client as well. Now, something I can't stress enough when it comes to sales is that you need to think ahead. Retail sales don't happen. You have to make this a priority. So what you think about and talk about is going to sell. And I think that goes back to sales as a transfer of enthusiasm. If you're thinking about the product that you have to sell and what makes you excited about it, then when when you're uncovering these needs with clients, you can talk about these products with enthusiasm and with knowledge. I encourage you at the beginning of your day to look at your schedule ahead of time and to plan out, you see what your treatments are going to be, and think about the retail plans that you have for each one of these clients that you're going to be seeing. And I like to look at what I've done in the past with the client. I'd like to think about what my next steps are so I can recommend next treatment steps and next retail steps. Maybe they bought a cleanser last time and we're considering the sunscreen this time, so I want to make sure that I address that when they come in to visit. And then I also like to plan out what my retail recommendations would be, with the caveat that I'm going to stay flexible because, as we know, things change, and maybe what was a huge concern to them last time is not such a concern this time. But it behooves you to spend some time at the beginning of your day and really look at who you're seeing, what you're doing, what you've done in the past, and what recommendations you would make moving forward. And sometimes plans go off, go as best laid plans, as they say, but it's a very good and very professional behavior to get into, and that is to think about your day and how you're going to hit it head on. Okay, so I wanted to give you guys some pre-treatment consultation tips. And this is good for both the new esthetician and for us older gals and gentlemen in this arena. It's especially when you've had somebody who has been with you for a long time and it feels like a friendship. I always tell people, as long as money is changing hands, it's a transaction, it's not a friendship. So as close as you may be to somebody, at the end of the day, still remember that this is a transaction that you're doing with a client. So you want to make it about them. Again, each and every time you want to check in what's bringing them into you and what are their primary concerns today. Because like I said, what could have been a primary concern a month ago isn't necessarily what is driving them to see you today. So don't assume, do some discovery. Make it brief. So you want to focus on vital information relevant to their specific concerns. In other words, we're not going to spend 10 hours before they get to their facial, you know, trying to figure out what's going on. We want to make it brief because we want to get into the actual touching, seeing, feeling, doing. Also, explain what you're going to do. This is super important. So again, it's another way of you to reiterate that you heard what their issues were, what their concerns were, and so that you're going to focus that treatment on addressing those concerns. So in this particular explanation, we're going to do a brightening facial. So maybe they had discussed something about their hyperpigmentation. So, you know, in response to what they're looking for, I'm going to be doing a brightening facial. We're going to incorporate a gentle two-step peel that will leave your skin smoothing and glowing. And then you can kind of go through the rest of the facial that you're going to be doing and what you're going to be doing. And then this is my favorite thing, and that is let them know that you will be making recommendations. So this really took so much pressure off of me personally when I was an esthetician, because I always felt like it was so awkward after having this very relaxing facial, all of a sudden to be like, and now I'm going to talk about products. But rather, if I let them know at the beginning of the treatment that when the treatment is over and they've exited the treatment room, or in the treatment room, depending on what your setup is like, that I'm going to be making some professional recommendations based on what I've seen and what they've said to me at the end of the treatment. So you have set up that conversation. It takes a load off your shoulders. You don't have to stress on how you're going to start that conversation because they know it's coming. Also, it allows both you and them to relax during the treatment because you're not going to be selling to them while you're doing the facial. And I say that with the caveat that every client's different, and some clients want silence and that Zen experience with you during the entire facial, and other people want to know everything you're doing, every single thing you're putting on their face, what's it supposed to do. You know, they want the whole 9 yards. So, you know, I know that that's the case in real life, but this particular recommendation has, like I said, just took a load off of my shoulders and from my mind when it came to how I was going to discuss treatment, or excuse me, retail recommendations with my clients. Okay, so some post-consultation tips. I definitely would pull the products that you think would most benefit them, and also begin with the most important product. If you have the opportunity and the time, you know, ask permission to apply the product to the back of their hand. I encourage you to engage their senses, point out to them how it's going to feel, how it's going to smell, what their experience is going to be. Make sure that you're allowing them time to comment on what they like, follow up on what they're saying, and then tell them what their skin will look like, the benefit, while explaining to them the specific ingredients, the feature, and how they're working the action. So I'm going to give you a little pre-written scenario that puts this into play, so you can kind of hear what I'm saying. And obviously, every interaction is going to be different, and this is going to sound a little stilted, but you get the idea. So in this case, my client is Jane. Jane, I'm so excited to show you these products. This routine will help keep your skin healthy and nourished while diminishing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. It will also boost the overall brightness of your skin while adding luminosity. First, I'm going to show you our HydroPeptide's Anti-Wrinkle Exfoliating Cleanser. What you're smelling is a burst of citrus thanks to the small dose of orange and mandarin oil, which awakens your senses. The exfoliating beads you feel are jojoba beads that gently polish away dead surface skin cells, revealing the fresh skin underneath. This is a deep cleanser that is gentle enough for daily use. And as with most HydroPeptide products, it also includes peptides to battle the signs of aging. I recommend that you use this product both morning and night. You'll want to wet your hands with water and dispense about a dime-sized amount of product. Next, gently massage it around your face, rinse clean with warm water, and then pat dry. So clearly that is a scripted thing, but you get the idea of talking about what they're experiencing, engaging their senses, and then what it's going to do for them and how it's going to address the needs that they had spoken to you about previously. Okay, so let's talk about closing the sale. So handling objections. Again, I want to go back to what I said earlier, and that is you're going to hear no, and that is a-okay. But I think you'll find too that a lot of people like to start with a no. I know I do. It's so silly. But every time I go into a store and someone's like, can I help you? My first answer is always no. And then I have to go find them about 5 minutes later because now I need some help. So, you know, you're going to hear the no. So what I want you to do is think about the feel, felt, found approach. And this may feel a little weird at first, but I think if you get comfortable with it, you'll find that this is a really nice way to get past maybe that initial no without feeling pushy. So you're going to repeat the objection in your own words to show that you've listened, and then you're going to show understanding, but no pressure to buy. So let's go through what that looks like in real life. All right. A client says, I'm worried about spending money on something when I don't even know if it's going to work. Here's what you can say. I can understand how you feel. I've felt that way too. However, I found that our customers who are using these products regularly are achieving the skin results they've been searching for, and I feel confident you will experience those same results. Feel, felt, found. Here's one more example. It seems like so many steps. I don't have time for that. I can certainly understand how you feel. It may seem time-consuming. I felt that way too when I first started to use it. However, I found once I got started, it really only takes 2 to 3 minutes twice a day, and I'm thrilled with the results. So you can see how that might work for you, the feel, felt, found. And then just some more closing techniques. Offer to take the products up to the front register. I can't stress this enough, be quiet. After describing the product, the action, the benefit, be quiet and listen to what they have to say. The silent pause can often lead to a purchase. And again, it takes away that feeling of being pushy. Just you're informing them, you're educating them, and then you're going to be quiet about it. When showing your clients multiple products that may fill their primary or secondary needs, ask if they'd like to choose one or the other today and let them choose. So that's an alternative close. All right. And just a couple of little scenarios. At the front desk, you could say, may I place these on your card today, or how would you prefer to pay? And sometimes that's the job of your front desk, or sometimes you are the front desk. I cannot stress this enough to you. Follow up. In this day and age, personalized customer care is worth its weight in gold. And whether your client buys a product or doesn't, make sure that you're following up in a few days to see how their skin is feeling after your service. And in particular, if they bought products, to check in on them on how they're using the products, if they're having any questions, concerns, et cetera, but giving them that call after the service, I'm telling you, is worth its weight in gold. I cannot stress that enough. And sampling, I just want to speak about sampling really quickly before we get to the end. This is my last slide with regards to the sales. Sampling should be done judiciously. Be mindful of how you sample. A lot of times samples are underappreciated. They forget that they got them, they'll throw them away. Maybe you've recommended 5 products. They're going to pick 2. In that case, I would sample on, maybe 2 or 3 of the other ones that they didn't purchase, so that they can understand how beautifully, everything that you recommended works together. So just be mindful of how you sample, and do it thoughtfully, because again, we want to make sure that these samples are driving sales, and that these samples are being used to expose your clients to the products that you think would be best suited to get the results that they want. We don't want this to take the place of a sale. Okay, so that is my questions. Let me look and see if I have any Q&As that I need to address.
Jessica, I did just want to chime in and let you know that throughout your presentation, in the chat box, you were getting tons of amazing feedback saying, thank you so much, that, they were hesitant to retail before. They are so excited about HydroPeptide. They're so energized to get back to the treatment room. So before you log off, I want you to absolutely pay attention to those that chat box, because it's amazing feedback for your presentation today.
You guys are gonna make me cry.
And I need to go. I need to talk to you.
I have more things to talk about too, but okay. Just FYI.
The slide about the 80%.
Yes.
Of the people that go into a treatment want to purchase retail.
Yeah.
And then the minuscule amount of people who are actually
3%.
Right? Okay, I just need to tell this my favorite story. You'll love this story. I was running a chain of medical spas, and I had a girl that worked for me who was phenomenal. Phenomenal, Jessica. She was booked 2 to 3 weeks in advance. People, if she went on vacation, people wouldn't see anybody else. She was like, they were like hypnotized for her. She sold retail.
We all dream to be that person.
So no retail. And I would do everything in my power to try to get her to understand, but she was like, I'm not a salesperson. Okay, so finally I sat her down one day and I said, do me a favor. Please list out for me all of the products that you use at home. And I mean, it was the $300 serum and the $200 moisturizer, and like everything Cadillac. She had the best of the best on her for her home use. And I said, okay, now what I would love for you to do is I'd like for you to go home and throw that all away. And on your way home, stop at CVS and pick up an Oil of Olay Regenerist serum and a Vino cleanser, and have fun with any SPF you want. If you even feel like getting an SPF, because if you have SPF, maybe it doesn't matter. But that's the things I want you to buy. And she looked at me like I had two heads. And I said, well, you have clients coming in paying $300 for a facial with you. And that's what they're doing, because they want to look like that all the time. And you even said it. People want to continue that look, that is effects. So they go looking for products. They're gonna buy. You just need to show them what it is. She looked at me and she was like, oh, they're not ruining my facials with that. Done. And her sales went from literally zero to up to over $1,500 to $2,000 all week. That's all I have.
Yes, 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 every time, yes. I mean, when I owned a day spa, my percentage of sales to service was anywhere between like 50 to 100%. And that's, that's what you should be shooting for, at least around 80%. And
I love that you said that they do 743 facials a week.
Yes.
At home.
At home.
Yes.
Such a kooky. Yes, it behooves you to send people home. And like I said, if they're not buying it from you, they're buying it from somewhere.
Yeah.
Why would it not be from you, who knows their skin, who has spent an hour plus or, years working with them? There is literally not a better qualified person on the planet to give them skincare advice, product advice than you.
Absolutely. 100%.
And that's why it really is important to sort of change your mind and think about sales of product as an extension of your service. That's why we got into this business, is because we love taking care of people. We want to move the needle with them with regards to their skin. And if you're not giving them the advice on what to use at home, you're doing a massive disservice to your clients. You've literally chunked off 730 opportunities to help them create better skin.
Absolutely. Now we've got 17 chats going on down there. Jen, you're monitoring?
So there's two different ways this is happening.
All right.
I'm going to just read you, Jessica, do you have more slides, or can I just read you some of these questions?
Let me run through these slides. I can go through them super fast, because it really is just about the kit that we're offering and the drop shipping that we're offering as a company. So this is going to take me like 2 seconds.
Perfect.
Okay, let me do that really quickly then.
You're going to talk about that vitamin C facial. Just put both of us on mute, because we won't shut up about it.
Okay, well, let me see if I can make this work. Oh, look at me. Okay, here we go. I want to let everybody know that HydroPeptide, we started this just particularly because of what's going on with the quarantine and the COVID-19. We are offering drop shipping right now. And so what we're doing is we are offering 35% of the sales that you generate, so let me rewind, I just got confused. You need to have an account with us. We are waiving our opening order right now. So normally an opening order with HydroPeptide is $1,500. Well, we are waiving that right now. So you can sign up to have a professional account, a wholesale account with HydroPeptide right now. And when you do so, you can choose to have a unique code given to you that you would give to your clients. And they can purchase HydroPeptide products off of our website at hydropeptide.com. And anything that they purchase, you're going to get 35% back. And that can come to you in the form of a check, or it can come to you in the form of credit on your account. We will take care of the shipping to your clients. We are also offering custom marketing assets like social media promotions and posts that you can put onto your social media. And then we are also offering samples for these clients. And this is a short-term fix. It may be something that turns into a long-term thing, but for right now, this is something that we're doing specifically for what's going on. When your clients purchase off of hydropeptide.com using their code that you give them, they're going to receive 20% off their purchase. They're going to get free shipping. They're also going to get free sample sachets. And we created this take-home facial kit called the Radiant Retreat Kit. You're going to have exclusive access to this at-home facial kit. And just to give you a little quick breakdown, if you were to carry HydroPeptide in your spa and you sold $100 worth of HydroPeptide product, you'd receive $50 in, what do I want to say, $50 in, oh my gosh, so you make $50, right? You pay $50, you make $50. Okay, sorry, I'm losing my ability to speak English. If you go through this online program right now, your client purchased $100 worth of HydroPeptide, you're going to receive $35. We're taking care of the shipping cost, and we're also, obviously taking care of the box that it gets shipped in and all that good stuff. So this is a great deal right now. First of all, you get to open a professional account, a wholesale account with us, and then you will also make 35% on any of the sales that you make through our website with your code. Also, we are offering an exclusive VIP bundle today for anyone who has attended this with us at Lipstick and Aftershave.
Lip gloss, lip gloss and aftershave.
Lip gloss. Did I say lipstick? I'm so sorry. Barry, I just got back at you for calling me Jennifer.
I'll take it.
Even.
So in this VIP bundle, you're going to get a full size of our new Firma-Bright Vitamin C Serum. This is a 20% stable vitamin C. It's also using a particular form of vitamin C that is great for sensitive and sensitized skin, and it has a very low degradation rate. You're also going to get an exfoliating cleanser, a power lift, and an eye authority. These are some of our top sellers. These are all in retail size. And then you're also going to get one of the professional vitamin C masks. This is a sheet mask that has 86% L-ascorbic vitamin C. And it's using a patented dried on formula. So you're going to activate that vitamin C right at the time that you're using that sheet mask. You're only going to have to pay $348.80, and this is a $440 value. And how do you get a hold of this? Well, you can contact us at info@hydropeptide.com, or I encourage you to join us on our professional Facebook page, which is HydroPeptide Professional Connection. And you can get information there as well. Okay, so that concludes my slides.
So if you want to stop sharing your screen, and then I'll put us back into our conversational view. So we had a few questions come in. Number one, is this presentation available for our viewers?
I'm going to say yes. Let me figure out how to do that.
Okay. So what I'm going to recommend maybe is anyone who's attending that wants more information, wants hopefully to get this presentation, if they'll get access to it, can they email you and then you can handle that once this is over? So if you want to state your email, or if it should go to info, who should they email?
Let them email me. My information is Jessica, M as in Mary, Jessica M @hydropeptide.com.
Perfect. Okay. So that was one of the main questions. Tons of amazing feedback, but the one thing that was asked several times was, so if you have a client who just goes to Sephora and gets what they want, or they're refusing to buy your products and they want to buy something from Target. What is the best advice that you give for that situation?
You know, frankly, you're not going to win them all. That's what I'd say. It is your job to inform your clients why they should be buying your products. But at the end of the day, it's their choice. And we don't know what's driving them to want to go to Sephora or go to Target or go to, you know, Costco. I don't know. It's not my business. My business is to inform them on the best products based on the investigation that I've done. And, you know, again, it's about being that detective. So when they come in the next time and they're still complaining about X, Y, or Z that their Costco moisturizer didn't address, then you can bring up again why you think your choice is a better choice. And honestly, you know, when you go to cost per use with a lot of professional products, like for example, with HydroPeptide, most of our retail sizes are 90 days, twice a day, 90 days. They're pre-measured. So when you actually like figure out how much that's going to cost you per use, it becomes pretty reasonable. I mean, yes, it's an investment up front, but over the 90 days, you know, it becomes reasonable. And
yes, if you let people understand how much, like they look at those serums and they're like, that's a lot of money. And you always have to let them know, this is going to last you 3 months. This is going to last you 3 months. Well, they love that.
Know, it was interesting too, and I'm not knocking any product line, but I was looking at The Ordinary, because The Ordinary has a lot of, I think, fun things, right? And I'm like, gosh, why is it so cheap? Well, because they're generally singular ingredient, right? So if I wanted to get the equivalent of like a power serum, I'm gonna have to buy like 10 things in The Ordinary to equal one thing of HydroPeptide, and then the price ends up being the same, you know? So again, I'm not gonna shop out of someone's pocketbook. Maybe they just really cannot afford it, and that's fine. But do you want to spend like, you know, do you want to buy like 10 things from Sephora, or do you want to buy one thing from me? Again, it's just education.
On that note, we are at 3:58, okay. So we need to say, Jessica, again, thank you so much for spending.
Thank you.
You guys, it's Jessica M at hydropeptide.com. Email if you have questions, but definitely if you haven't tried their new vitamin C power serum and the new vitamin C masks, unbelievable. That's a great bargain they're giving you. Email her and take advantage of that ASAP. Right now we've got to run on to our 4 o'clock with Sculpt Ice. Bye everyone.
Thank you guys. Thank you very
much. You're welcome.
much.
Thank you, Jess.
Okay. Bye.